Welcome along to the EXFL Tier 2 Season 7 Japanese Grand Prix. We're here for round 16 out of 22 at Suzuka, one of the most famous and technical tracks in the whole entire world and calendar. I'm F1 Union, your main commentator for tonight, and back alongside me is Bramley at Lang. Bram, are you looking forward to tonight?
Yeah, I'm looking forward tonight. Tier 2 at Japan is always a fun race to look at. It's a beautiful track, and I hope today will be a beautiful race as well.
Indeed, we're just loading into qualifying now. It's about to start in a mere few seconds. I'm just trying to contact one of the drivers to see what the race is like in terms of weather. So just give us a minute and then qualifying will start.
I mean, at least qualifying is definitely dry.
Yeah,
That's at least a good sign.
thank goodness. Right, there we go. Right, we're in for 18-minute qualifying session. Let's just change all this. Right, there we go.
Today, okay, let's go.
Today what?
Today, I hope to see Charles closing that gap on McLaren, especially the McLaren of Frozen, because McLaren overtook Alfa Romeo in constructors for the first time this season.
They did indeed. 9 points is the difference between Alfa Romeo of Chaz F1 and Seb, between McLaren BOL Frozen and Callum 5, who, like Bram said, took the lead of the championship last time out. And Frozen, after a hat-trick of wins in a row recently, looking to equal the record for most Tier 2 races won in a row of 4 this weekend. He has got a 42-point lead ahead of Chaz F1. He's been keeping it solid, keeping it consistent out in front, getting the P1s and 2s, and unfortunately Chaz F1 has had a few unfortunate race results recently, which has allowed Frozen to extend his gap and claw back whatever he was lacking behind. The drivers make their way out on track, and surprisingly, quite a few of them on medium compound tyres. Ollie, Frosty, Josh and Horosia. So it's not just the two Astons for once.
It's quite interesting to see. People choosing the mediums, do you reckon why? Do you have any guess about it?
It could be to save it, most of the time always is to save a set of softs for the race, just in case of any late safety car at the end, or if they want to start on the softs. It's all to do with strategy, all focused on the race. It's always just to get a good banker in, and you know you're going to improve your first lap anyway, so why not make it a medium run?
Oh, yeah. Because last season, what I remember, a lot of drivers choose an extra set of mediums for the race.
Don't know why
Right.
Josh Hewitt is saying rain. We got a fully dry race ahead of us, so that should be all good.
That's been a while that it hasn't rained, right?
Full wet racing in Hungary when you came back, Bram, I think.
Yeah, that was the last non-race rainy race. That's quite a while ago.
Right, riding a ball with let's see, Lightan. He's heading through 130R, Bram. He's about to start his lap. Do you want to take us through it?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, okay.
Got a bit of a distance before he's just heading through the final chicane now. So
Yes,
a
I'm
bit of
seeing
time.
it.
Right, here we go then.
The final chicane, the chicane where Leclerc went straight ahead, is Leighton starting his lap here in Suzuka. And he has started last corner flat out towards turn line. Now going to turn 1. Turn 1, very tricky corner. Where do you live? Where do you brake? Very difficult. So far, it looks like Leighton has nailed turn 1 and 2. Now here, sector 1, really quick corners. Very easy to miss your line, and if you go wide, you lose 6 cents already. Also easy to invalidate, but he doesn't. So far, sector 1 seems very clean. So, okay, now going to the fast right hand, the very easy to invalidate as well. Oof, and he invalidated in that corner. He went over the wide line with all of his tires, and that is his lap over for Leighton in the Williams.
That is his lap over indeed, and same with his teammate we saw off as well. So let's go back to I'm not calling him by his actual score gamer tag, but James in the Alpine Bram, which we can pretty much pick off where we left off.
Okay, right now he hasn't invalidated like Leighton. Now he's going to the U-turn where Perez took out Magnussen. Right now he had a purple sector 1, which is very good for the Alpine driver. Now here, quick right-handers flat out in today's cars. Two spoons. Here. Okay. He doesn't take much curb. He can take more to win more time. It looks like it's solid, not the best, but it's definitely good for a banker lap. Here, next turn. This is a very tricky corner. In my opinion, it was the trickiest corner because there's so much time to win and to lose, but now you're going to the chicane. Right now, he hasn't validated. His lap has been decent. Is he going to provisional pole? What is it going to be? Is he going to beat the lap time of Ollie in 1:77.801? He doesn't. He goes to P2 at 1:28.077. Well done to the Alpine.
3 thousandths ahead of Sin Icon then, but yes, just over 2.5 tenths off Ollie, who's setting the pace at the moment. We've got an Alfa Romeo going off there in the tricky S section. Luigi not too far off as well, getting out the way as Josh Hewitt 2 tenths off, but on the medium compound tyres. Callum in between, both Astons on the slower compound, so he will have to go again as Ben94 now puts in his banker to be 4 tenths off the pace. So Ollie, the only one into the 1:27s at the moment, and now we're going to wait for BOL Frozen on his outlap at the moment. Carbro about to finish Sector 2. Let's see what he can do in the AlphaTauri. It's going to be a 1:11.7 as he flies by 130R now. And once again, a make or break section at the end of the lap. A simple chicane, but it takes a lot out of you. It takes a lot of precision and work on the rear to plant the power nicely and come across the line. DRS right at the end, 28.4, puts in P7, exactly 6.66 behind. And that's 11 times on the board as Oren is the slowest at the moment. Chaz F1 just about to start his lap. He's got Haas and Frozen in front of it. And Lightan, by half a second, goes on to provisional pole. Remember, he stole the Singapore pole position from Frozen right at the end of the qualifying session. And he's left down a marker there, 27.2. We could potentially see a lap time into the 26ers, but it would need to be some lap. That lap is pretty solid from Lightan, as Chaz Meister's having connection issues.
Yeah, Lighton taking Paul and Williams ahead of Ollie, but Ollie is on the mediums, so maybe he can challenge Lighton for pole today.
Yeah. Oh, okay, makes sense.
Seb goes to P2, by the way, in the Alfa Romeo. Well done to the Alfa Romeo after missing last week, but Biora Frozen.
He's backed off.
He went a bit wide, he backed off his lap and probably going again.
And right behind him, his title rival, Chaz F1, he gets out the way. And now Chaz will head into the hairpin to complete his lap as he has not backed off. So let's see what he can do. His teammate currently just over 2.5 tenths off Lightan's pole time. And Chaz and Seb have been pretty similar a lot in qualifying. When it comes to the race, most of the time it's Chaz who gets the edge over Seb. But at the moment, let's see what he can do. Tyres look a little dirty as he goes very wide onto the curb as he's finishing the end of Sector 2. It's been a solid lap from where we've picked him off at the bit where the 8-bit circuit crosses over. Here we go, 11.3. That's 4 tenths quicker than Carbro up in P9. So this would get him into potentially the top 4. You can see how close it is from James all the way down to Ben. But here comes Chaz F1 then. This should get him provisional second row as he crosses the line. It's going to be a 28.0, and it is the second row by 6 thousandths. It was going to be close, and he just beat the Alpine. But that's nearly 6. That is half a second off his teammate. Seb does have pretty good qualifying pace. He holds the record for most races without a pole position, however. And he's known for a lot of P2s, but maybe today can be the day.
Yeah, but what we most of the time see with Seb, that he has very solid qualifyings, but he just... Yeah, in a race, he gets into an incident, gets too many penalties, and that's normally what ruins his race, which is very unfortunate, because he is a very solid driver, and he has shown that a lot of times. For example, in Season 5, he finished 4th in the championship.
BOL Frozen on his lap. He's got some traffic in front of him, the Aston and the Alfa Romeo, and are they going to clear out the way? It is Frosty Life. So either he has to go wide at Spoon here, or he really is going to hamper BOL Frozen on his lap. Don't know if he realises he's there or not. He does get out the way to let him go, but Frozen wants to be where he is, but he does eventually go. And the Alfa Romeo of Chaz, I think, is right in front of him, so this will get interesting. Heading into the final chicane, a little bit of grass kicked up on the right for Frozen. Chaz not necessarily in his way at the moment, but heading through the chicane, it will annoy him. And that's right on the limit of an invalidation as Chaz heads into the pits. Then Frozen round the final corner. This should be provisional pole still, and it's just missed out by 8 thousandths.
That is very, very close.
These two in qualifying, Lightan and Frozen, by the slimmest of margins. We know Frozen's been held on his lap, potentially dirty air, ruining some hundredths, potentially tenths off that lap time. It looked so on still for a provisional pole, but he's just missed out. But he will go again with 8.5 minutes. Seems like he'll only have one more run though. So Erosia, Nathan and Chazmeister, the only drivers not to set a lap time at the moment.
But Hiroja, down in P60, not having finished the lap. Of course, last season's race winner here, I think. Yeah, last season's race winner around this track. The Frenchman right now yet to set a lap time. Do you think he can repeat what he did last season here?
Sorry, say that again, Bram? I was just checking the chat.
Do you think he can repeat what Hiroja did here last season?
Ooh, who?
Hiroja.
Oh, Hirosia. Right. Actually, that's a good point. Hirosia. Of course, he qualified. Where did he qualify? Like 11th. And and Ollie. There we go. 31 thousandths as he puts the softs on. This is getting seriously close between these three. A Sin Icon now goes up to P4, 2.5 tenths off. This is getting really close between the top three. And Chaz F1, I'm sure, would love to join that as he exits the pits to potentially get one more run in before his final run. But yeah, Hirosia, who didn't have the greatest qualifying last season, pulled off one of the drives of the season to end up winning the race as he came through the field. Obviously, the leader ended up bottling it on the straight to give him that chance, but he was going to catch him anyway. But yeah, it will be interesting to see what he can do. He has not got a lap time on the board. He has had some decent performances this season, but nothing really challenging for a win yet. So we'll wait and see. Chazmeister sorting out his issues in terms of connections. Lightan in the garage. Frozen coming round to start another lap. I didn't catch him going to the pits. No, he's going
to the pits.
No, those are 3-lap-old softs now. So he's going again. So his lap time may be off as well as being held up, as well as having a lot of fuel in the car. So this lap could genuinely be a big improvement. It depends how much those tyres still hold on. And through the S's, where you would lose the rear the most, they look great. It's like it's on rails at the moment for Taze Frozen, as he's ending the first sector now. And where will he be? 1/10.5 nearly up as he heads through the 8-bit crossover onto the curb. He's got a Ferrari in front of him, but too far ahead to really put him off at the moment. Hit through the hairpin now. No mistakes so far. The Ferrari gets clean out the way. So for the rest of the lap, it's smooth sailing, and it's all down to the McLaren. Heading up towards Spoon then, you can see just the amount of stuff on the tyres, even when you don't go off, how much they can... Oh, but Frozen's gone off, and that's an invalidation.
You called it, man.
Oh my god. You can just see on the rear tyres sometimes some stuff just being kicked up on them. Not even when you hit the grass, it's just wear. But yeah, that is Frozen's lap time over. He's got 5.5 minutes to go into the garage and potentially only get one more run in. As the top two in front of him are still in, and the three behind him are in as well. So Chaz F1 then. I believe this is... Doesn't look like a lap. No. No.
It is a
Something's
lap.
happened.
Oh no, he's
It's 10
backed
seconds
off,
down. No.
He backed off.
Either... No, he's definitely just started a lap, but he may have messed up somewhere. James P8, Luigi about to start a lap in P9. Ben down in 10th, the top 10 covered by a second. And Ben, qualifying is pretty much the only area he needs to really improve on in terms of Tier 2 wise. News though, Ollie is going to Tier 1 next season. Lightan is going to Tier 1 next season. Frozen is going to Tier 1 next season. Chaz is going to Tier 1 next season. Ben is going to Tier 1 next season. These are the 5 drivers that are moving up, who have been given the promotion, and let's see what they can do in Tier 1 in 2024. As for now, as Hirosia is going to start this race from 16th at best, may even be last if Nathan and Chazmeister get a lap time on the board. He's deciding to start at the back. But yeah, the last 7 races then for the 5 promoted drivers, and at the moment 3 of the 5 are in the top 3. That's Ollie just heading out. Oh no, Chazmeister. Nathan is on a lap as he's just about to head through Spoon. I do not know if when he completes this lap he'll be able to get in and do another lap time, but We'll wait and see. Oren the slowest of the current runners still. But hopefully you can get another good lap time on the board. Callum diving into the pit lane. And we'll see. What about Chaz? He's back into the pits. So that run clearly didn't work. Or he was pressed for time. Not quite sure. Luigi ending sector 2 now. Nearly 4 tenths up is the Ferrari. Which will definitely get him up into P6.
It's a purple sector 2 for him.
It is indeed. Sometimes that can be glitchy, but we'll take it with a pinch of salt and hold our breath and see where the Ferrari can end up at Japan. Crosses the line, P6 for Luigi. Good lap, as his teammate down in P14 needs to deliver some pace.
Yeah.
Right there,
I cannot be biased towards Ferraris, but of course it's great to see the Ferraris back in the top 6. They have been quite absent in the top 10 for a while.
Yeah, Luigi
had back there.
That promising race in Italy at their home ground before the drive-through, and then he decided to retire. Callum has had some decent qualifyings, but lately he's been missing a couple races. So hopefully, as he's back in the car for Japan, he can deliver and maybe get that car into the top 10. 2 minutes 50 to go then, and they're still in the pit lane. As for the top 2, they are on their outlaps, getting ready, and this will be the only run of Chaz Meister, as he's finally got that Haas out the garage. Currently it's a Haas sandwich, the whole grid, and let's see if Chaz Meister can change that as he crosses the line. Clocking 200 miles an hour then, heading into turn 1, as we see some lag there. I thought he was going to go straight onwards, riding the curb over at turn 2, making sure not to invalidate it now, heading through the S section. Don't know if I really want to continue. He's lagging so much that we may have to just jump to another driver here. Oren then, a 10.5 up in sector 1. Let's see what he does at the end of sector 2. He's got 4 cars in front of him for traffic. There's one. Callum's retired, so it'll be P12 at best for one of the McLarens. Again, another driver who struggles for quali pace is Cal, so he's got to improve that, as he's got a truckload of drivers in front of him as Oren. Didn't quite catch his middle sector, but it doesn't even matter because he's gone so wide as Chaz Meister's left. I'll invite him in set. That I think that's his qualifying over. It is indeed.
I mean, a lot of traffic on track right now. Everyone trying to find a position to start their lap. Leighton had a bit of problems, but of course now in his lap he has found a lot of clean air to try and challenge for pole today. While Chaz retires from qualifying, second in the championship, is
he's lost it.
P8.
He's lost it at turn 11, I believe. We'll catch up with him when we see Leighton go through, as Leighton is going through the S's now. This is his final chance. He needs to find a couple hundredths to take back pole position ahead of Ollie. As let's see what his first sector split is then. Oh, he's up by a 10.5, and here's where Chaz crashed, and here's where Leighton passes the stricken Alfa Romeo. So we be P8 at best for Chaz F1. Heading into the hairpin now is Leighton.
Yeah, and again in Japan, just like last season, a championship contender has crashed out if it's either qualifying or the race. But this is not good for Chaz, who's looking to close that gap to Frozen, and Frozen is still looking to start a lap for pole, so it may even hurt more for Chaz F1.
Leighton is up by a 10.5 in the first sector. Ollie is up by a 10.5 in the first sector. Leighton, as he ends the second sector split, has he found more time? No, he's down by 36 thousandths. He needs to find just an inch of time as there's grass trails exiting his rear tyres, heading through the final chicane for Leighton. He was on pole last week. Can he make it back-to-back poles in that Williams? He's sliding out of the final corner, trying to find as much time as he can. Crosses the line. He doesn't improve. It's second at best for Leighton. Now let's see what Ollie's got, as Frozen is just entering and gone past sector 1. Ollie's up by half a second. It could be the day that Haas get onto pole position. What about Frozen then? Up by 3 tenths. It is Frozen versus Ollie for pole position then, and it's going to be Ollie first across the line. This could be pole position. It's definitely going to be the front row unless we get a surprise. Ollie, 26.7 for the Haas. It's provisional pole, but now we see what BOL Frozen can do, heading into Spoon for the final time in this session as he rounds that McLaren. He's got an AlphaTauri in front of him, but that should be the only bother as he ends the second sector split. Here we go then. It may even give him a little bit of a tow, this AlphaTauri. Where is he up? He's up by 6 tenths, is BOL Frozen, and he's looking keen for pole position number 11 as he's heading through the final chicane. Can he make it great? Yes, he can indeed. Now he's just got to straighten up, get on the power, and across the line for pole position. Taste Frozen. Indeed, by 2 tenths. BOL Frozen, 26.5. What a lap. A Sin Icon, P4, Seb, P5, Luigi, P6, Josh, P7, James, P8, Chaz down in 9th, and Frosty Life to round out the top 10 in P10. But Ben crosses the line now and goes P8 to knock Chaz down to 10th. And what about Carbro? We're not done with him yet. 1.9 down. He's got to find pretty much another 10th to get into the top 10. Everyone else is finished, so here we go then. Carbro, where can he get across the line? P11.
P11 is great for Carbro.
So by 2/10 then, Frozen is on pole position. And then them two, 4/10 ahead of Lightan, who couldn't improve. And then the rest follow. Sin Icon P4, hasn't scored a point yet since his return. Luigi's got no front wing. No wait, Callum's got no front wing.
Luigi.
And yeah, that's it. Chazmeister will start this race last with Herosia, the only two non-timed people on the 9th row. But yeah, Frozen. It's another pole for him, but Ollie is looking keen. We just wait for Lightan and Luigi to retire in the pit lane.
I must say, what a lap from BR Frozen and Ollie. We thought maybe high 26s are possible, but they've smashed it. And going to the middle of the 26s, I did not expect it. It's amazing. Look, from me driven 2 seasons up front, I've never seen such dominance lap by BR Frozen and Ollie.
Yep,
What
Chaz
a
saying,
qualifying from them.
Chaz saying he's messed up. But hopefully he can gain it back in the race. It's tier 2, anything can happen. Right, let me just take a photo of the grid.
But again, this week again a poor qualifying performance by Chaz F1, which is very unfortunate because at the start of the season he was there with BR Frozen in quali and the race. Now in the last couple of races he has not even been there in quali and not even in the race, and this hurts. I believe that Chaz can still challenge him, can challenge Taze. But it's gonna be a tough job for the Alfa Romeo today, for the Brit in that car.
Is indeed right. The drivers have loaded in, choosing their strategy. And just in case of any restart. There we go. Right then, an array of medium compound tyres as well as soft compound tyres. Frozen on the mediums. Chaz switches to the softs. Josh on mediums. Oh yeah, Josh, you up in 7th. Good for him. As Lightan also on the mediums. Right, here we go then. The lights coming on. It's the Japanese Grand Prix as the revs rise. And it's lights out, and away we go. Taze seems to get away well. Lightan trying to go around the outside of Ollie, but it seems like Taze will lead into turn 1 as Seb sees Sin Icon trying to challenge. Wheel to wheel is Lightan and Ollie. Ollie on the inside with the softs, stays ahead in 2nd, and they are as they were. And look how it's single file pretty much. Tier 2 has all made it through as they just about stay wheel to wheel. Chaz F1 fighting Carbro in P9. He goes wide, allows Carbro back up into 9th. That's got to be the cleanest tier 2 start I have ever seen as no one is around and they're all away. BRL Frozen leads just ahead of Ollie as they head through the end of Sector 1 now as they fly past. This is brilliant as Oren and Erosia still battling wheel to wheel, and eventually something was going to happen. The Mercedes spins round and now he's the one being collected. But it was all a matter of time. Sin Icon, something's happened to him. He's dropped down to 10th. As he's now with his teammate Chaz F1 fighting the Aston Martin of Josh, and he's made up a great start. He's up 3 places on the softs as he goes around the outside of the Aston on the medium compound tyres, blasting his battery as we head through Spoon. Does he keep it ahead? Does he get later on the brakes? Just about, as it goes a bit wide, but the Aston is struggling now to keep ahead of Carbro, and Chaz up into 7th. Here comes Ollie then into 130R. He takes the lead as he blasts his battery, and he's up in a 1st, but Taze coming back at him on the medium compound tyres down the inside. He forces Ollie nearly onto the grass, and it's great racing once again for the lead at the start of a tier 2 race. Ollie's got the switch, and now he's going to try and retake the lead before we even start lap 2, and Ollie just about has to back out as Ben is ahead of Luigi, and cars changing all around. Ollie round the outside, goes deep, goes off the track, does Ollie, and Ollie spins, he side spins, and he's going to drop all the way down to 6th and 7th. That allows Chaz to get ahead of one key element in this race, and Ollie has Ollie's messed up there, as we got a yellow of Sin Icon.
What a start from all the drivers. This is probably the best opening lap we have seen this season. Pretty clean, only one incident so far that has really caused a collision. And of course, now he's spinning on his own, that was Ollie. But I have gotten, Jane, I don't know about you, but I have gotten flashbacks from last season overtaking in a 130R. But Ollie made it happen. Well done to him.
Right, Oren causing yellows at the end of sector 1. Sin Icon has gone into the pit lane. After that battle, Frozen's extended a 1 second gap to Lightan. Seb up into 3rd as Cal and Nathan are battling for P13. Down into Spoon. Cal gets ahead of the Red Bull. As Ollie on the charge, trying to get past Chaz. And he has done that. Chaz onto the grass a little bit there, lets him go, and if he works with him, he could stay within DRS, and hopefully Ollie can tow him along. As they got Luigi in front making mistakes, and now Ollie's going to try the switch. Luigi loses the rear. Chaz sees an opportunity here to get Luigi, and now he's in the slip of Ollie. But is there a gap? No, because Luigi's closing him off, but Chaz tries to squeeze the Alfa Romeo through as they're all blasting their battery. And who's going to emerge out in front? Luigi has to stay behind. Chaz on the inside. Ollie once again goes wide, and Chaz gets up in a 5th. And once again, for the 2nd lap in a row, Ollie goes off.
Yeah, great racing from Luigi. He lost the position, but he went out of the way. That was very responsive from him. Otherwise, 3 wide in that corner, that would not have gone great. So I must say, a lot of respect to Luigi for backing out there. Well, he's going to try it on Chaz F1 after having a moment. He's side by side. Chaz goes in the gravel. He had no room. They tried it there, and it failed. Chaz went into the gravel. Now it's opening up for Ollie. Ollie is ahead of Luigi. And this is not good from Chaz F1, who goes off track.
What happened, Bram? Did Chaz lose it on his own? Did he get hit?
No, he did not have a lot of room, and Chaz chose X for his money. He did not want to be in a collision, but I don't think there was much room. But there has not been any contact there.
Right. If there wasn't any contact, then Chaz went off into the gravel. Cal also spun round at the S's. So it's Frozen with a 1.7 lead ahead of Lightan, who's under pressure now from Seb. And he's trying to move nearly into the final chicane. He's going to stay behind for now, but he should get the move done with DRS. And Ben up to 4th as well. Ollie down in 5th. We've got a yellow. Frozen's out! The championship leader has crashed!
Oh my god!
And things in the space of a lap have just turned around for the World Championship. Chaz F1 goes past his title rival as he just lost it into the pit lane. Unbelievable! I was just about to leave to get a drink of water, but oh my god.
Oh,
and we have a virtual safety car. Can you believe it? Oh my god.
Oh my, Frozen did what I did last season, crashing out in Japan. Oh no.
This is a lifeline, and Chaz has to make the most of it.
Chaz can profit from that today. Perhaps had some bad luck, but this is very good for him. Oh my god. Wait, oh my god. Oh, I just can't believe it. And Nathan gets a drive-through. Not good from Nathan. What the hell? Rip days Frozen, man. But this means that Lighten not being the quickest on track, but purely because mistakes from Frozen and Ollie goes up into P1. I don't know if Lighten and Frozen made any contact.
It happened in Hungary, didn't it, Bram? Taze just made a mistake and it ended up making him crash. And here, for the lead of the race, the Alfa Romeo of Seb, before we get to 130R, has taken the lead ahead of the Williams. And Ben watching this all unfold. Can Lightan challenge back? No, he's going to wait for the start-finish straight. So here we go then. A little bit of a slide, but with using all the battery he has, he'll have DRS's. Luigi is dropping down, and he's lost the rear. Luigi into the wall, trying to get on the power as Lightan takes the lead back ahead of Seb.
Very clean, very clean.
And Luigi unfortunately has to go the whole lap now with that damage as he's just past the pit lane. Carbro Joshua Aston Martin making ground. Look at this, 5th and 7th. As Ollie, can he win this race? He was the second quickest to Taze. Now Taze is out. I'm very surprised that didn't cause a well, it caused a VSC. As Chaz gets ahead of Luigi, who once again is just going wide, dropping places. We got a yellow, and it's Ollie! As soon as I ask, can he win this race? He spins again!
Ah, not
And
the
Chaz F1.
commentator's curse again.
Once again, is past a critical driver, Ollie. And let's see. This is a lifeline for Chaz. Wherever he finishes will be how much he gains on Taze Frozen in the World Championship. If he wins the race, it'll bring it down to 17, which means the title fight is very much back on. But it depends. With a 42-point gap, he needs some good points. He needs a good strategy, good race pace, good mentality. And he needs his teammate to try and do that with getting past Lightan and potentially holding them up. But we will see what can happen. Right, Bram. I'm going to leave it on Lightan for 2 minutes. I need a drink.
Alright, okay.
My throat is
We'll
killing.
take it over. Here, Seb now in 5/10. Seb, of course, wanting to win this race, wanting to cause as much damage to McLaren. Now they go onto the main straight. Here's Seb, DRS, 4.5 tenths at the start of the straight. Is he blasting his DRS? No, he is not. He is not trying it in turn 1, 2. Very responsible from Seb right now, who is trying to win this race. Lighten right now a bit quicker, but Seb is still following him. Band 94 already gaining a lot of position, starting in P8, I think, already up in P3, already in the podium. Very well done. Well, just you, it overtakes Carbro. Just, we haven't seen much of him lately. He has had signs of maybe good pace, but always crashes. But right now he's in P4. Well done to him for that. The Aston Martin's in a good position at this stage. Chaz F1, as we said, he needs to capitalize on this, but he has dropped down 2 positions. He's dropping down even more. What is happening to Chaz F1 here? He has spun. Chaz F1 spun. Oh no, and he just goes again. 3 seconds down, but as soon as Hussein is capitalized, he loses positions. Josh also loses positions. Did he spin as well? That's the question we're all asking us right now.
Did you not catch what happened to him?
No, he started losing positions and got a penalty. I think he spun or had a massive moment.
Yeah, it's damage.
Very unfortunate for him.
So that both championship leaders in the walls today. Right, I'm back. Right, Josh Hewitt also had a moment in the hairpin. So much going on. Right. Cal back up to 11th, ahead of Chazmeister. Jazz with an end plate wing damage. Don't know what happened. He's already angry enough as it is, but he's been given a lifeline. He knows that gap of 42 points won't get any bigger today, as Frosty Life battling away with Carbro. Ollie, 5 seconds for speeding.
Traditions.
And Chaz F1 in as well. Right, I will tell you what though, biggest gainer at the moment, Horosia. Like you said, Bram, last season, Horosia was on a charge, started 17th, and he's up into 6th. And he has got some pace he's gaining on these line front. So keep an eye on him. As everyone's on the mediums or softs apart from Carbro, Ben and Seb. So the longer Lightan can keep Seb behind, the more he looks in good shape of winning this race.
But
as
Luigi!
Luigi, what's happening to Luigi?
Luigi's dead last. When did that happen?
He lost it right here. And he had to do a whole lap with wing damage. So he fell more and more down the order.
Ah, that's unfortunate. I did not see that.
So Sin Icon is the lead driver who's made a pit stop in P11. 3.9 ahead of Ollie. Tyres. Sin Icon on 5-lap old hards. Ollie on the mediums, so I don't know if he can get those to the end. Maybe he's expecting a safety car. Chaz also on the mediums and off! Mistake after mistake. He just needs to keep his cool head at the moment. Frosty Life gets ahead of Carbro through 130R. Carbro coming back at him. Will he try it into the chicane? No, he stays behind for now. And we'll keep it on penalties. Right, Seb.
I know. Chaz F1 is just not coping with the pressure. And that's very unfortunate. Last race, I think he had a lot of pressure and he's not coping with it. And that's very unfortunate because in a championship fight, you need to do that.
Whoa.
I believe he has the pace to come back, but he's just under so much pressure.
Frosty Life just staying ahead of Carbro. Right, we've seen some great racing so far this race and a few collisions and a few mistakes from certain people. But at the moment, some people in some positions you wouldn't expect. Frosty up in 4th, which is great to see. Carbro up in 5th. Horosia up to 6th from especially where he started. And Josh, after that moment at the hairpin, is back where he started. I think same without the Alpine of James. Callum, though, up into the points, but unfortunately 11 seconds off the next car. Chazmeister, then Sin, then Ollie, who is rapidly gaining, and then Callum, who's got Oren and Chaz 5 seconds behind. So, lap 8, we've only lost one driver, and it was the original leader of the Japanese Grand Prix, the championship leader of BRL Frozen. He made a mistake on exit, heading into the final corner, lost it, and the pit entry wall was right there to greet him.
That's very unfortunate.
He said silly mistakes are costly. It is going to cost him, but at the moment, it's not going to cost him anything. His main title rival isn't scoring anything, but we will wait to see what he can do as others have to pit. So he needs to push, does Chaz F1, and exiting the pit lane and going onto the grass at the end of the S's didn't help him as into the wall. Sin Icon has caused a VSC because he has gone into the wall right as Seb has taken the lead.
Perfect timing for the Alfa Romeo, who takes the lead right now. That is very unfortunate for Sin Icon.
Has Chazmeister left? I'm not sure. Oh, he's not even online. Oh dear. Yeah, he's having issues. He needs to fix them. Anyway, this is an interesting stop because Cal now goes in. I think Sin Icon may be retiring from this race here. 16 seconds worth of penalties. It's once again another awful afternoon, well, evening for him. There we go, right. So it's a VSC, the second VSC. No safety car yet, which I'm pretty sure quite a few people would have wanted. But it's interesting to see how long this VSC will stay out for, because I don't see it staying out until these lot get to the pit lane. Right then, third of the way through the race.
Third way through the race, and a drive-through penalty for Josh.
Again. Happened last week, it's happened again. Right then, resuming at the front. This has allowed Seb to save some of his battery, but he's deploying it all again as Lightan is not got an issue with his, as he stays behind, heading into 130R. Ben is just watching this. The gap has grown a little bit, though, between these two to the Mercedes driver. And does Lightan have any try? No, as Ollie gets past his disconnected teammate for P9. And now we'll see who goes into the pit lane, or do they stay out? They do not. So obviously Seb will be coming into the pit lane first, potentially to undercut Lightan. If it really is a soft-medium strategy, then this could be the key decision, as Lightan will put on the softs towards the end, as Lightan retakes the lead of the Grand Prix. There we go, my voice is good now. Right, Carbro and Herosia staying behind Frosty at the moment, as Josh Hewitt has to serve that drive-through in the next couple laps. James a bit out on his own at the moment. Ollie has got a lot of work to do, especially with 5 seconds as well for speeding. And Cal came out about 3 seconds ahead of Chaz, who's got some traffic in front of him. Oren is the first as he's battling away with Cal. Right then, Seb, a second behind nearly. This race has had a lot going on, hasn't it?
It has. It has been a great race, to be fair, though.
But, I mean, massive commiserations for BRL Frozen. But when you're leading the championship by, I would say 42 points is all right, or a bit comfortable, and obviously it is a scare. But you've just given us quite the interesting race. But at the moment, it's one of those where you see the championship leaders up there all season, but you don't see them in a certain race, and that certain race is going to deliver quite a few things. But at the moment, we're seeing a battle for last between Luigi and Nathan heading in to set 2 now, as it's the closest battle on track. But apart from Herosia and Carbro heading into 130R, does Herosia keep it on the island? Yes, he does indeed. Carbro tries a little switch, but he can't quite get past. What a move from Herosia. He's on the charge today, just like last season, and he wants to win another Japanese Grand Prix as Oren and Callum are battling, which is allowing Chaz to gain on them, and Frosty gets Ben because Ben's into the pit lane. So we'll see where he emerges out. What about Oren and Callum? They're still fighting, as is Herosia and Carbro, who gets back ahead of Herosia. What a great scrap between these lot, as Josh has to pit, I believe, this lap. So where does Ben exit? There he is. There's Ollie coming down the main straight. There's the Mercedes. Does Ollie get ahead? This is going to be close. Ollie gets ahead of the Merc, and he's been pushing his luck as we have a yellow. And it's Josh Hewitt. No, it is Josh Hewitt.
It is.
And he's spun at the S's. So that's pretty much race ruined with a drive-through. Let's just hope he can get back to the pit. Speaking of Close battle.
And he
Seb.
goes off again.
Oh no. He's just going
And
to
he
get out of the way.
breaks.
Yeah, to get out of the way of them two. Chaz F1 is ahead of Callum and Owen. When did that happen? Well, whatever the case, Chaz has just gained 2 positions, which is great for his race. He's got Frozen's teammate 2.4 seconds down the road. Oh, Josh, once again, just get it back to the pits, mate. He's got wing damage. He's lost his right end plate. And anyway, looking further back, when are we going to see Seb into the stops? As he's got nothing left. He's just sticking with Lightan due to the DRS. And here comes Horosia back ahead of Carbro as we head through 130R again. The Williams fighting cars as Carbro. Does he try to send down the inside? No, he's all over the road as Seb is finally in. So first D-Life stays out, Horosia, then Carbro who comes in. Carbro trying the undercut then, making sure not to speed as he slams on the brakes. This is going to get interesting.
Oh, and Chaz goes into the wall!
Oh!
Chaz from the Japanese Grand Prix. At the day he needed to profit, he doesn't. He bends it into the wall at the spoons curves.
Was it on his
Too
own?
much curve. Yeah, the car got unsettled. He flew into the wall, and that's his race over. Chaz on the day to profit from Hero Frozen's mistakes, throws it away. And that
Can
is
you
not
believe it?
what you
This
want.
has not been a good day for the top 2 in the World Championship. Both of them are not going to be scoring any points whatsoever. Chaz F1 and BRL Frozen, the top 2 in the World Championship, are both out of the Japanese Grand Prix. And we have, after 2 VSCs, a safety car, and Williams are the happiest team in the pit lane.
And this is, don't forget, this is very good for Ben94, who is now looking at, can he overtake Chaz's race? I think he can.
I'll check in a sec. Ben is 31 points behind Chaz, so
Not
I'm
today.
not going to check the chats because they'll probably be crying, but yeah, 31 points, so he can't quite overtake him today, but he's generally got a big opportunity to gain some ground. We'll put it on tyres because this is going to get very interesting. Josh is out. He's just gone and crashed, but that doesn't change anything. Right, so we'll have 14 left in this race. Lightan comes in then.
And this is very good from Lighten because I believe he has underviewed the car.
Has he? Oh, he has indeed. His light is yellow.
He has underviewed his car.
Good spot, Bram. Who else? I just saw someone else there, I think. Never mind. Oh, yeah. Oh, there we go. AFC Callum as well has also underviewed the car. Right, Erosia comes in. Then it's going to be the hard compound tyres for the leaders. Seb, he will remain in second on mediums. The safety car does help him get to the end. Ben has... Oh, yeah, also stayed out in third. Right, Frosty Life in fourth. Erosia in fifth. There goes Carbro to get ahead of Erosia. So they all stay where they are. No one's changed anywhere. The Alpine of James up to 7th, Cal up to 8th, Ollie 9th. This will help him because he's got no penalties. He's on new mediums, so it's now going to be a charge of him. No penalties. The only penalties are from Luigi and Callum. There you go, Bram. Yeah, and this allows them all to be bunched back up. And it's getting quite overcast, I've just realised. I don't think it should rain at the end, but it's definitely changed conditions compared to the start as we approach the halfway stage. There we go, Brown's back in. All good.
I'm joining. I mean, a lot has happened the last couple of laps. From when we said it's a calm, good race, something just crashes started happening. But yeah.
Oh my... Wait. Oh, never mind. Right. Right, let's see then. Lightan on the hards. It's Frosty, his teammate, and the Alpine of James on 0 lap old hards. Then Cal on 4 lap old hards, as well as Chazmeister. Everyone else from Ollie onwards on the mediums. And then we have Carbro, Ben, and Seb. Interesting. So now it's swapped. Seb was on... No, it stayed the same. Seb was on the softs, Lightan was on the mediums. Now Seb is on the mediums and Lightan's on the hards. So considering these two were battling for most of the race, I think we've got a good fight on our hands as we'll probably stay out a lap or two to let the others catch up.
By the way, it's time for an EXFL shout-out phone. We hadn't had one for quite some time.
Who is it this time? Drum roll.
I would like to congratulate Alex because his birthday is tomorrow.
Yes, his birthday, yes.
Alex,
Happy birthday for
second
tomorrow,
in Tier
Alex.
2, yeah.
I think he's third.
Second in 1.
Yeah, third.
So congratulations to him. Happy birthday tomorrow for Alex. Of course, tomorrow, great day because in Fortnite the old map is returning. Be sure to play that.
Oh,
Because
Lord.
yeah, it's everyone has to, like.
Right, just waiting on Callum, Oren and Nathan to catch up the pack. Right, we have 14 left. We lost Biro Frozen from the lead. He lost the rear into the final exit final corner onto the start finish straight. He lost it into the pit entry wall. Just like Hungary where he lost it at turn 5 just on traction and went straight into the wall. Errors like that and it can cost you a lot, but it doesn't cost him anything today because as much as Sin Icon has also retired from this Grand Prix, his main title rival ChazF1 has also retired. So that 42-point gap will be staying how it is with 6 races remaining. And we'll also lost Josh Hewitt once again with another DNF, but we still have 14 remaining and quite the race on our hands now in the second half.
Yeah. As soon as I do one EXFL shout-out phone, my DMs are full with can you do another one?
We have time. May as well say a few. Who have you got?
Okay, I would like to shout out Will, but Will has to do it visually for us. I did not know how to do it because he's deaf.
No
So
idea.
shout out to the deaf fans and Will. And shout out to Jack for his tier 1 return tomorrow.
Yep.
What a guy returning to tier 1. You can't get EXFL with that, man.
Right then. Safety car. Is it coming in this lap? It is indeed. Right. It's a bit late. Heading into the final chicane. I'll just drop my controller. Right. Here we go then. The restart. Heading on to lap 15. Lightan goes. Seb follows him. Ben has got a pretty good launch, and now he's right behind the Alfa Romeo as Frosty's watching this unload. As here we go into turn 1. Here comes Erosia. Then can he try and make a move on Carbro down the inside? Carbro stays ahead. Unwind, that was the word. As Carbro stays ahead of Erosia. Chazmeister, his disconnected car falling down the order. Ollie making moves, and that's the first one. Ahead of Cal then. And now he's got the Alpine in his sights as he looks like he's the one who's going to be making the most overtakes in this second half of the race. They all fly by now, one by one. No collisions, which is great to see. And now Lightan leads from Seb just about as we once again plunge through turn 8. Going off his Carbro into the grass, but he keeps it on the island, losing the rear. Once again, he's struggling. Is the Alpha Tauri, and are we going to see some sort of send from Ollie heading into the hairpin? No. At the moment, single file from all of them. And Nathan trying to get past Chazmeister, who will unfortunately, most likely, probably indefinitely get disqualified as he looks like he's not going to be joining back. Unfortunate for him, needs to sort out his issues with his connection. Ollie at the moment can't quite find a way past the Alpine. Exactly the same ERS between the two, but there's already a gap forming and Ollie needs to get on with this. Tell you what, Ben 94 has been given quite a good lifeline because if the front two squabble and mess up, he's in a net position to gain some good points. As Ollie has got past the Alpine and is up into 7th.
I am very, very sad. Somebody just took out the 50 meters ball in sector 2, begin sector 2. I am crying right now because of that.
Here comes Seb. Does he go to the outside? Yes, he does on the grass. He tries on the outside, but it was a bit too late of a move, which loses him momentum and he can't quite get the move done. But at the moment, they're streaking clear, nearly a second ahead of Ben as Oren gets ahead of Callum. Pretty good move there. Something happened with Luigi. Callum's teammate is Callum. For some reason, tries to move down the inside of the start of the S's. Nathan not close enough to gamble an opportunity from it. But yeah, Luigi went off at the final chicane for some reason. Now he's dropped down to P13. But Seb is right on the back of Lightan, not giving him any room to breathe, is the Alfa Romeo. The one remaining Alfa Romeo. Seb has only had one win to his name, and it came 2 seasons ago in Baku.
Still hurts.
And at the moment, he's looking for that next second win but he's got to take it from a very fast Tier 2 driver, one of the Tier 2 promotions for next season. Yeah, he's in between two of them as well. Ben, who's also going up to Tier 1, but Frosty Life hasn't been on the podium. I can't remember the last time he was on the podium, and he finds himself in P4. You never know what could happen. There were talks, well, I was talking with him in DM, of him potentially retiring, leaving at the end of this season. But the last few races, he says, have sparked his passion for racing back again, and now he finds himself P4 in the Japanese Grand Prix, right on the back of Ben for the potential podium, as Nathan makes it 3 cars in a row to get penalties, but no one in the top 10 at the moment struggling with that. DRS enabled then, and we have a DRS train and a Williams sandwich from first all the way down to 6, as Ollie needs to get on with it and close in on that fight, as we see a pass now. Oren is really on the charge. He got past Callum, he's got past Cal into P9 and into turn 2 is the Mercedes. Good work from Oren.
Very good indeed. Well, we see Carbro now right on the back of Frosty Live of the Aston Martin there. Now entering the fast left-hander, very easy to spin. It's no way he can overtake right now. So he has to stay behind the first overtaking opportunity. That's realistic, and he goes off track as soon as I say that. Yeah, I think that's his attack over for a bit.
As Alpine gets a 3 set, does Herosier send it? Yes, he does, into the hairpin. Does Carbro fight it really? Not right, not clearly, not really, as he tries a switch, just can't quite get it, and Herosier, as much as he's a second behind, is up into 5th. Yeah, Carbro once again making mistakes there. That same corner, grass on his tyres, it's cleared away for now, but Herosier needs to make sure, like he has done now, to get within a second of Frosty to keep hold of that DRS.
I must say, since Carbro joined back, he has shown quite an improvement of his pace, I believe. When I was racing him like 2 seasons long, he was like 8th to 12th, but now he's definitely in the upper top 10 the entire time. I like to give him a shout out for that.
He has indeed, as Ollie has joined the DRS train, and here we go then. Seb has got, oh, we got a yellow because it's Oren. Oh no, Oren has spun down to P12. We have to look further back. Seb can't quite get Lightan. Lightan 50%. Seb has barely got anything as Callum gets back ahead of Cal. Cal struggling, it seems, on those hard compound tyres as Callum on the mediums gets ahead. But unfortunately, Oren has lost ground 2 to drop out the points. Now, still DRS train for the top 7. This is great to see. As, oh, going off and out, nearly out of the Grand Prix is Carbro. As soon as you say it, Bram, Carbro messes up at the end of the S, as I thought that was him. Wraps as, oh, he's lost it. And that's lost his front wing, and that might be nothing, luckily, because that would have been awful if that was a safety car. But Carbro, his race is ruined. Lost his front wing. And Ollie and Erosi have dropped outside the second for some reason.
Oh, and he spins again. Maybe I should mute myself. I've been cursing people today. What's this?
Clearly. First time.
I'm sorry for everyone I cursed.
Right, Lightan, half a second ahead of Seb, then Ben still just keeping within a second, but it's just edged out as he needs to use his battery to keep it back within, as Frosty it's got decent amount of ERS to still try and have a go, and Ben isn't going to be within a second, so this, we could see some changes for the lead and podium here onto the next straight. Depends, does he get the DRS? It's not loading for him, and it's not, so Frosty sees his opportunity to potentially get onto the podium. What about Seb? Too far back. Here comes Frosty. Is he too far back as well? He's gaining. He goes to the left, but he can't quite get past Ben for now. Hiroshi and Ollie just dropping off a little bit as Cal into the pit lane, putting on the softs. So if any of them can't make it to the end, now's the time, as Carbro will limp into the pit lane, potentially retire from the race. Cal on the soft compound tyre. Yeah, there we go. On the soft compound tyres, will try and push to gain some ground and potentially get back into the points. And Ben really dropping off now.
A minute of silence for the people who have fallen in this race. Just kidding. Oren, 3 seconds time penalty.
5 cars in a row with 3 seconds. Chaz Meister's not really in this race, so Cal can gain a lot if there is a safety car at the end. He can definitely gain a lot. He gained a lot last week due to penalties to get P4, back-to-back P4s after Italy and Singapore, but P4 seems a bit far out of his range today. A lot would need to happen as Ollie just doesn't seem to have race pace at this stage. The gap is just staying constant. If anything, it's just getting a bit bigger. So Rosier has got pace to get back within a second. So he's making sure Frosty isn't alone in this podium fight as he tries a little send heading into the final chicane, as we now once again resume onto the start-finish straight. Does Frosty try and have a potential move this time? He uses his battery, but he's not in the slip. Now he's in the slip, and will he go to the left or the right? Frosty to the right, to the left now. Tries to go around the outside, slight bit of contact, and he can't find a way past as Ben on the defence, keeping ahead. So
Right
when
now,
does Seb...
Yeah, when does Seb try it? I mean, he doesn't have a lot of DRS. He's sticking in DRS. I just don't think at this moment he's quick enough. I think Leighton is just a quicker driver this race today.
I'll tell you what though, Seb has done really well this race so far. Good race pace and keeping with the leaders. Obviously DRS helps, but he has got the pace, the commitment and the consistency, which is key, to keep him. P2 as Oren goes off as soon as he goes into the points. He's out of it and Luigi has to go off the track to pretty much overtake him. Does he have any damage? I believe he's just gotten away with that. But once again, as I was about to say, as soon as Oren gets back up in 2P9, he bottles it again. Let's hope he can maybe get back up into the points. But at the moment, it's a struggle. But the other Mercedes on the podium at the moment has an opportunity to gain some serious ground for potentially runner-up in the championship. Actually, both of the top two in the championship, they're all going to gain. And the fight for P3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and potentially 7 is well and truly on in the championship as well as this race. As Ollie, 2.3 now. Really don't know what's happened to him. His mediums are a bit old compared to these guys on the hards, which, if that is the case, then Ben is going to be in trouble, and so is Seb. I think no matter what, even if it's from P17 to P5, Hirosier and Japan just work. They click. These two, this driver and track combination is great. And it's great to see Hirosier having this sort of comeback. Seb gets a time penalty, and that pretty much cements Leighton as the winner for now with 7 laps to go. But anything can happen as Seb has now started to crack and struggling as Luigi drops down because he's in the pit lane. So is Oren. So they're putting softs and mediums on. Interesting. So Cal is into the points if we ignore Chazmeister. And if Seb's dropping further back, this allows Ben to potentially gain back into DRS.
What a race it has been. I'm just scared of talking before I curse more people. But I must say, the drivers who are still in here are doing a massive job. And it's been pretty clean with overtaking, I would say. I think more people crashed out because of mistakes and got taken out today.
Right, Ollie 7th in the championship, currently in 6th. Hirosier and Frosty are the ones out of place there. Really enjoying this Grand Prix so far, both in the top 5. Ben, 3rd in the standings. Seb, I think 5th or 6th in the standings, as Cal does eventually get cemented into the top 10 as Callum gets a second penalty. Seb is right on the back of Leighton, however. If he's to win this race, he needs to overtake him and get a 3-second gap as Ben is under pressure from Frosty, who nearly does what Taste did and loses it into the wall. But he's got pressure from Hirosier as well, as Frosty's starting to flash now. Does he try and move to the inside of Ben? Not quite. Ben hangs it round, just keeps it on the track. And once again, they stay how they are. Ollie just doesn't have the pace at the moment after making quite a few mistakes this race as he slides through turn 3. P6 won't be the end of the world, but I'm sure he would have loved a lot more than that. Seb really making sure Leighton doesn't just walk away with this easily. He's right on the back. He's great through here, but it's in the second half of the lap where he loses time.
I don't know what it is, but my game is glitched.
Oh. Right, the top 5 there, you can see all in one shot. They're all in a DRS train once again. Frosty is under pressure from Hirosier, and his race is not done just yet. 40% compared to 8. We could be seeing a move here for the Williams, who are gaining a lot of points at the moment. So far, they're going to be the biggest points scorer in this race as they've made contact. Frosty has gone wide there, and Hirosier's just barged his way through. He's maximised on a mistake from Frosty there, so I don't think anything was wrong with that. But Frosty has lost a place to Hirosier then. But the key is he's not within a second of Ben, so Frosty may get it back. But Hirosier just seems to have the pace and a big enough gap at the moment to stay ahead. Don't know what happened there, but he's made a mistake clearly. And a little bit of wheel banging allows Hirose up into P4. If he can get onto the podium for P17, that would be amazing. But Seb, a 10th behind Laitan, really making Laitan have to work hard for this. As yeah, if Seb was the only one to get the 3 second, it's between him and Ollie who gets P5 and P6. At the moment, Ollie would just get it by a couple hundred, so Ollie needs to push.
I must say it's a mega drive back from Ollie. I mean, he was quite far down, and now he's back into contention for top 5. So I would say that's a great comeback drive from him.
Fastest lap for Luigi, 29.6. What is? Oh, they're setting 30s. Interesting, interesting. Right, Hirose 1.5 off Ben with 32%. Ben with 50%. Seb with nothing, and Laitan also with 50%. So Ben could be coming into this at the end. Oh, Seb goes off. And that's going to really lose him time. And now they're pretty much evenly split between the top 3. Hirose gaining ground once again, using his battery to try and get within a second of Ben. It's not working at the moment. And Ollie is trying to hang on to these lot. Once again, another DRS train, as the Alpine of James is just pretty much vibing in P7-8 today. Callum, unfortunately, penalties might... Yeah, actually, penalties won't change a thing. Callum is genuinely going to get P8, which is good for Ferrari, as Nathan up into the points as well. But we'll see if Callum on those softs can get within 3 seconds of the Red Bull to try and nick another point. Anyway, back on to the start-finish straight. Once again, no change at the front. No ERS, 13, 14, 43, 6, 43. Yeah, Laitan and Ben keeping good on their ERS. Ollie really just has to use it all to try and stick with them, as he's got the oldest tyres, I believe. Yeah, 12 laps. No, Ben's tyres are older. And yet, okay, Ben's race pace is just really good then. As here we go then, Ben is really gaining on these two now. He's really joined the fight. And now we have a 3-way scrap for the win, as Frosty could come into his own, as Callum gets another penalty, which actually may start to cause problems as he's gone off. That's why. He's got gravel on his tyres. He's leaving a bit of a trail. And now things are starting to heat up. We have 4 laps remaining of the Japanese Grand Prix. Japan always does serve up something to remember. And Luigi gets past the disconnected Chasmeister. And I'm betting right at the end, when everyone's crossed the line, Oren is probably going to have fun and do some donuts. Anyway, looking further front. About to start the 3rd last lap. Does Seb try it? This is probably the closest he has been for a while now, heading into the chicane. He needs a good exit, and with 3/10 Laitan losing the rear a little bit, has to use his battery to stay ahead a little bit. But here comes Seb then on lap 25, using everything he has. Can he get the lead of the Grand Prix? Laitan goes defensive. Seb tries the outside. There's barely enough room, and he has to go onto the grass nearly. But now he tries to switch, as Ollie has got past Frosty Life. As they both go off there, Ollie goes wide onto the runoff, and Frosty gets back ahead. Ollie and turn 1 do not mix. He tried to have a go, and at the moment it didn't work, and that may help Seb get P4. But it isn't helping Seb get into the lead, because Laitan's just holding on. He's surviving, and if Ben wants another P2, he can have it. It's his. But does he want to go for this win? He's running out of time to challenge Laitan. He's got the same ERS as him pretty much. But Seb is in his way, but with DRS he can't find a way past. Hirose watching this all unfold. And if I was Ben, I would blast it right here to try and get him, but unfortunately the gap is too big. Oh, he is! He is! A little bit.
If Ben would win this Japanese Grand Prix, he would be the 2nd Dutchman to win this Grand Prix. Of course, the one Dutchman who has won this race was season 5, was the undisputed GOAT of Tigo.
Oh yeah, of course, Tigo. Of course, he won the Japanese Grand Prix. Right, heading through 130R then to start the penultimate lap in coming seconds. Here comes Ben then on the inside of Seb. Does he try the move? He breaks later. Seb lets him go, and Ben is up in a P2, and now we're going to see a fight for the win. Here comes Ben then with DRS to stay ahead of Seb, who's got nothing to defend. He has that 3 seconds, so he now just has to stay behind. Here comes Ben then. We're on the penultimate lap. Does he try the inside? Yes, he does on Laitan on those medium compound tyres. The fight for the win, and Laitan just stays ahead for now on the hards. Ben trying everything he can on those old mediums, and now we're going to see 2 race winners go at it. Ben trying to get his 2nd win after winning the British Grand Prix. Laitan trying to get, I believe, his third win after winning the Miami Grand Prix and the Hungarian Grand Prix, I think. Whatever the case, they know what they're doing. And at the moment, Ben just has to recharge his battery because at the moment, Laitan's in a good position here with nearly double. Ben tried to move into turn one. It was risky. And Laitan just hung it around the outside. He's good at turn one, is the Williams. Good stability on traction and to get it round the corners. And at the moment, look at that. 1 second now. Has he lost his chance, the Mercedes? Seb at the moment, he's still fighting with Ollie for P5 and 6. At the moment, Ollie with the DRS may just beat Seb. But at the moment, it's going to be a double Williams podium, which is brilliant for the team. Oh, yellow for Nathan. Gone off.
Nathan and Callum, and Nathan retired.
Okay, he's just given up on the spot. That was going to be points for him, but oh well. This gives Luigi a point. Right then. We are starting the final lap of the Japanese Grand Prix. Ben does not have DRS, so it seems like it'll stay how it is. They've pretty much gapped each other with a second, apart from Frosty Life and Ollie. There goes Ollie then to get up in a P5, and it may still be P4 if he can keep within 3 seconds of Seb. So this time, Ollie gets turn one right when it matters. And at the moment out in front, Laitan has controlled this race since Taze Frozen lost the rear into the barrier. He's battled with Seb. Seb's tried his best. He's going to drop down to, unfortunately, P5 or P6. We'll change it to leader just to see. 5.3 at the moment. Ollie is just going to get this by a 10th. But Frosty will remain how he is. It depends how Ollie is for the rest of this lap. And at the moment, he's still gaining on him. And Ben trying everything he can. But Laitan has 30% to play with, so there's no chance. However, Laitan, his red fuel light his fuel light is flashing red. Oh, and Ben's. And, oh my God, they're all flashing. They're all flashing apart from Seb. They are all flashing. Okay. No, they aren't about to run out of fuel, I don't think. Oh my God, are they? We're on to the final lap of the Grand Prix. We're into the final moments of the Grand Prix. And I think at the moment it should be alright. Here comes Laitan then through the final chicane. It has been a brilliant drive from the Williams. And he crosses the line in mere moments to win the Japanese Grand Prix ahead of Ben, ahead of Seb, ahead of Hiroshi, who's going to be onto the podium. Brilliant race from him. And now Ollie does get fourth. And Frosty manages to get fifth. Seb drops down to sixth by, half a tenth. Frosty really got his elbows out in that last lap to push and get P5. That's a brilliant result. Good comeback from Ollie. Double podium for Williams. Ben, P2. And luckily, none of them did run out of fuel. And Cal is going to come home for 4 good points for McLaren. But with 8 points for Alfa Romeo, the gap from 9 points goes down to 5 points. And Callum, 10 seconds for track limits there. Interesting.
Did he just cut the final corner or something?
I don't know. Does Oren get a point?
No.
He does. Oren gets the point. Don't know why Callum did that, but Oren gets P10. Well, that was quite a crazy race.
What a Japanese Grand Prix we have had.
I was minus 1.5 laps of fuel at one point. I was fuel saving so much. I made that race so much harder than it needed to be, says the race winner.
I mean, congratulations to Laitan for winning the Japanese Grand Prix so far. Of course, not fine with steering, but I don't think there has been an incident. So I
didn't even cut the corner by that much.
We can congratulate him with a Japanese Grand Prix win and congratulate Williams on a double podium. Hiroshi, it has been a while since he has been on the podium. The old French driver is back on it again.
Indeed, let's get them in the party then. Hopefully I can get Laitan in. There is the results, however. Just going to let that play for a sec. And what a drive from Hiroshi. P17 to P3. Absolutely brilliant. Like last season, he's gained pretty much more positions, actually, because he started further back. And Frosty Life from P12 to finish 5th by half a tenth ahead of Seb. Absolutely brilliant. And from P13 to P8, good drive from Cal to get some good points. And Luigi, 3 points with that fastest lap. And then we see the rest who have DNF'd. Just quickly get the race director.
I must say, this is gonna be the stressful for Roja. Every time he starts really far down the grid in Japan, he just gets back. It's gonna be a strategy from now on.
Right then, let's get them in. Right, invite the winner. Invited second. Invited third. There we go. Right, you include your audio, Ben. You there, Ben?
Oh, yeah, hi. Xbox is having a fit.
Uh,
Yeah.
alright.
Okay.
Have you included your
It's
audio?
included. Yep.
Alright, cool. Right then. P2. Um,
Yeah.
bit of a silent race from you up until the end, and then you had one shot and then just unfortunately fell away from you. Just take us through your race. Let's see where it all went right.
Well, I got a good move on the guy that started in front of me. I think it was
Uh,
what was his name again? Josh. Um, and I started on the softs. I saw a few people on the mediums. There were some people just fell off the track. So all of a sudden I was in P4. That soon became P3. After Frozen buried in the wall, that was the biggest surprise of this race yet. And I was just following Light and Seb throughout the whole race. And I thought, what, if I put in a lap earlier, I can undercut him. So I went in, and then a lap later, I'm stuck behind Ollie, unfortunately. But then the safety car gets called, and I see him dive in the pits. He almost made contact with the wall as well. And yeah, I was actually quite pissed at that point because I thought, well, in my head, I was like, maybe if I stay out, the meetings will have a better run time in the end. But I thought maybe I can undercut as well. So I was deciding between two decisions, and I guess I picked the wrong one. So still third after the safety car, and I was just saving fuel. I saw Seb was already blinking his rear light after 5 laps or something. So I thought, well, if I just conserve my energy, I can use it at the end, and that's what I did. And it was just not good enough. But I'm happy with P2.
Yeah, it was a great race from you, mate. And then yeah, you managed to get past Seb right at the end. You had one look at the lead heading into turn one on the penultimate lap, but then after, yeah, just unfortunately couldn't keep with. But yeah, brilliant race. Another P2, another top two. Do you think, because I think the 31 point gap now has gone down to 13 points between you and Chaz, do you think you can get runner up?
I think so. Yeah, now I'm way more confident now than I was last week. And I think what is a not so fun fact, if I was in all races just 1 second quicker, combined in both Italy and this race, I would have won both races because I was like 2 tenths behind Frozen when in Italy and only 7.5 tenths behind
Oh,
Lighten. So yeah, small gaps, but I'm happy where I am the last couple of races, and if this keeps
good.
going, then P2 is mine.
Oh, I'm going to ask all three of you this, but I'll ask you first. How was your fuel during that race?
I put in, I think, 1 lap or half a lap, and then I thought, shit, this is going down pretty quickly. So during the virtual and normal safety cars, I well put it in lean and then lift and then coast it as much as I could. And thankfully, I had +1 with at the end of the safety car, and I knew well that I was gonna last. Yeah, I was gonna last. But normally I don't touch the fuel before the race. But this time I thought, you know what, maybe I'll just put in less. And exactly when I do that, the fuel is horrible. So yeah,
We saw your fuel light flashing red. Same with Lightan, same with Horosia, same with a lot of drivers at the end. But I guess it was just because it was the end of the race potentially. Anyway, yeah, well done on second. Brilliant drive, and yeah, you gain to 13 points now, just behind Chaz. I'm gonna just sneak in this really vague question. Do you think you can catch Taze with 6 races to go?
hell
You
no.
you would be 55 points behind him.
How many races are left?
55 point lead
Ooh,
with 6 races to go.
I need to outscore him by 10 points on average, and that's me finishing first and him third. If he I mean, if he buries himself into the wall every race, then yeah, I think I have a good shot. But if he finishes races like he normally does, I have no chance.
Because you were the favourite heading into this season. You were the favourite for the championship. And then
Yep.
unfortunately, you did have some connection errors and a few unlucky races. But since Britain, you have been one of the star drivers. And I think you are going to get another win soon, hopefully. Anyway, moving on to, I mean, just in general, congratulations to both Williams drivers. What a result. But I guess we have to start with the winner of the Japanese Grand Prix. Pranav, you there, mate?
Yes, yes, I am.
All right.
Good.
Have you included your audio, mate?
I have, but my wife
Alright.
is a bit shit.
What a race from you, my friend. Just take us through it.
Oh, the race was just fuel. I decided, oh, let's be sneaky today and let's put -1 laps of fuel in. I'm sure there'll be plenty of safety cars, and I paid the price for it. I was fuel saving the entire race. I was lifting and coasting into every corner, and even doing that, it was staying about the same. Safety, I was -1.5 laps before the safety car. If the safety car hadn't have gone 2 laps, I would have been finished. I ended the race on -0.02. So
Wow.
I reckon I had almost a second a lap more pace if I wasn't lifting and coasting into every single corner. But I mean, I'm sure Zebby saw that he was catching at every braking zone. So
Yeah, we got concerned that not just you, but a bunch of people may like crawl to the line. So right as you exited the final chicane, we were just holding our breath that we didn't see just a slow Williams coming on across the line. But 0.02 under fuel, and you
Yeah.
just nah, disqualified, mate. Nah, you're under fuel. Yeah, brilliant race from you, mate. Amazing. So that's your third win, I believe.
yeah,
Miami, Hungary, and now Japan.
absolutely.
That brings you into the fight as well, I believe, for potentially P2 in the championship. And yeah, brilliant and great ERS management as well.
Yeah,
But
I was just using it to
I
keep
think
people
just
behind.
edging you out, driver of the day, 100% has to go from P17 to P3. Horosia, how are you, mate? What a race! Just
Yeah.
take us through that. What a comeback!
Yeah, it seems like a comeback like Danny Ricciardo, and yeah. Fuck. Oh, excuse me. I'm saying I say fucking time, my fucking time, on the podium.
Do not curse.
Yeah, this is your first podium of the season, isn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah, back on the podium, and it's back where you made a brilliant comeback last season to win the Japanese Grand Prix. This season, you started a bit further back, and you still came back to the podium. Absolutely brilliant, mate.
yeah. I love.
Uh,
Yeah.
great race pace, and you managed to gain on Seb because of his penalty. So 40 points for Williams. Amazing. Actually, let me just quickly check. Where are you guys in the standings?
Moving
Fifth-
upwards
fifth
very
on four.
sharply.
Fifth
Ooh,
and four on the constructors.
Yeah, you're fighting Merck. You were 28 points behind Merck, and considering Oren got a point, Ben got 18, 19, 21, 28. Ooh, 7 points behind Mercedes. So you two are fighting Ben and Oren for P3 in the constructors. Very
Um,
interesting.
Just count only count me, please.
No, just
Oren got a point.
Hello, man.
Yeah, I know, but it's
You are
not.
not a teammate of Ben. Sorry, mate.
Well, what a race that has been. Next week, oh, it's the inaugural Qatar Grand Prix.
Oh,
EXFL are heading to a new track here now for the first ever race in Qatar, and it's anyone's game really for that track. So we'll see you there in 7 days' time. Hope you've all had a good evening. Hope you've all enjoyed the race, and I'm sure these top three will have a great evening for the rest of it. Bye for now.